Hey there, it is Cindy Schulson of Marketing from Within, and I'm going to be sharing with you a few of my very favorite internet marketing tools that I use in my own business. So I'm actually going to stop the video and I'm going to share my screen, and I want to show you one of my very favorite tools, which is LeadPages. So what I love most about LeadPages, especially lately, is that they've included something called drag and drop templates. Basically what that means is you can create any kind of page you want. So for instance, in the old days of LeadPages, all that they had was these standard ones where you can kind of change the colors and images. But now with drag and drop, you can create anything. So I'll show you a few just examples here. This is an example of a sales page where I can create whatever layout I want. Look how cool that is. I can just do anything I want using my branding. Here's a different example of a sales page. Here's an example of a recap page I do for my challenge where I can just put any kind of layout I want. You see how customizable that is? And here's an example of a landing page where I even was able to put this cool image of this woman in the background. So you can really go to town with your branding, and I'm just having so much fun with it. So, all right, let me show you a few things on how to use that. So let's say, for instance, you want to create an opt-in page for a webinar. So you can just scroll down. You can find one that kind of looks like it might fit, right? But don't feel like you're going to be stuck to it, because you can, as I said, just tailor it any way you want. So I'll just choose this one just for the heck of it. You just click on Use Template, and then it's going to come up, and you're going to give it a name, and we'll call it Webinar Drag and Drop Test, just so for fun that I know what it is, okay? Now it's going to populate it with everything, and then I'm going to show you a few things on how to customize it. All right, so you can see that it's laid out the way they showed it to you, but I'm going to change it, and I'm going to show you a few things that you can do to change it. So for instance, let's say you want to change the font over here. So you just highlight that font and, highlight the font, and it's going to come up, and you'll see that you can change to bold or italic or center. You can choose whatever you want. You can choose the kind of font that it is. I could do jumbo headline. Just go back to regular, and I can choose the size. I can choose the spacing, which is how much space between each line. I can choose the kind of font, and I can change the color. So I always recommend know your branding colors, right? So that's my red. All right, so that's how you change the fonts on a page. Very easy. You can also change your colors in your button and the words in your button. So I'll click on the button. You can see that it's got that green. I can change it to whatever color I want. Sorry, off the screen there. So you could just type in whatever your color is as an example, okay? And of course, you can change the text in it. You could say, reserve my, there you go. I've changed that. Now, I'm not going to get into integrating your landing page with your email management system. I'll save that for a different topic or a different video. Today, I just want to focus on design. All right, so now let's say I want to have one presenter. So I want to get rid of one of these guys. All right, so sorry, Clay, you're gone. Delete. You can see it gets rid of that whole section. So now you can just upload. Let's say I want to change the image and I want to put my own image on it. Click on the image, and now you'll see it shows like where you want it positioned, so you can change it. Let's say I want it there. It'll move it over. Okay, so that'll just change the positioning. But if I want to change the actual image, sorry, I need to scroll down, hover on the image, and you just click on this little image icon, and then you can upload images or graphics straight from your computer, and it'll store them all. So let's say I obviously would want to find one of me. There's one of me. All right, and I can just insert it, and there I am. Now, you can even have some fun with it. Click on Styles, and you can decide, so sorry, I just need to scroll down here. So you can click on Styles, and you can say that's circular. I could do rounded and decide how rounded I want it. I could do square. So I'll stick to circular, and you can even play with the width of it, so the size of it like that, which is pretty cool, and how it's centered. Okay, so that's just a few little style things there. Now, let's say I want to like insert something on the page that doesn't exist. What I do is I go over here to widgets, click on widgets, and let's say I want to insert a line, just as an example. So I can click on line. Do you see that? I dragged it over, drag it to wherever I want it. Let's say I want it right there. There's my line. Now, what if I want to change the color of the line? Just click on the color. I can choose one of my branding colors that's already in there. Oops, sorry. There's my branding color. There's my red now. And I could even change the thickness of it. So if it's a solid line, I can make it thicker. I can make it dashed, dotted, whatever, okay? So that's an example of that. All right. You can also add, in terms of widgets, you can add all kinds of things. Like you can add a countdown clock, which they already have there, or I can add a button. Let's say I want another opt-in button down over here as an example. I could take my button widget and I can just insert it right there. And now it says input your call to action, so I can change the text, reserve your spot. I can change the color. I'll just choose that one. And I can choose the style. I can make it full width like it is now. I can make it not full width. See how I can make it like that? So that's not full width. All right. So I'll go back to full width. All right, so those are a few design things there for you. The other thing I wanted to show you was in terms of layout. So the way that these drag and drop things work is that we'll go to here, we're going to go to layout. Do you see over here it shows layout? So I'm going to go to the layout, and the way it works is they've set it up in sections. So you can hover over here. You see that says hero? That's the hero section, and it'll show you what it includes. If I click on that, you'll see that there's all these different rows. Do you see how it kind of aligns? There's row 1, row 2. Okay, so you can see how that's set up. And then if I scroll down here, you can see which section it is, all right? So I don't want to get too overwhelmed here. We're just going to look like, for instance, we're going to change the hero row 1, for instance. Now you can see the way they've set it up is that there's columns within each row, and you can actually see them. These lines like that don't appear when you publish the page. They just do that to show you the layout. So here's column 1, here's column 2, here's column 3. Let's say I don't want these columns in there. Let's say I just want to have it all the way across the page. I can go to this column 1 and I can delete it. It'll highlight in pink what it is so you don't accidentally delete the wrong thing. And I can just delete it. Now it's gone. Now let's say I want to, now you see it created 2 big columns now. If I want to get rid of column 3, I could delete it. Or if I wanted to, what I could do, let's say I wanted to keep that in there for some reason, but I want it smaller, I could just drag it over to whatever size I want. Do you see that? See, just that little draggy thing comes up. So those are just a few innovations. Obviously, this looks terrible. I would never publish this, but I just wanted to show you a few of the design features on this. It's really fun to play with, and I'm telling you, you could spend all day on this, but don't. Just make sure that you use your branding and your copy is really good. Sorry about that. Oops, what did I just do? Okay, so those are a few of the things that you can do for the drag and drop. And as I said, you can even create like a whole sales page like this completely customized to how I want it. Completely customized. I mean, if you go over here, and I'm going to go back to the drag and drop templates for a second, you'll see, oops, sorry, okay, here we go. So you can sort them by, let's say I want to find a sales page, so I can find the sales page templates, but again, you can completely customize it. So I don't even remember which template I used to create that page. I think it might have been this one, but it doesn't matter. Like, look at this template as a preview. You'll see what it looks like, and look at what I ended up with. They're completely different. That's the power of drag and drop. You can make it into anything that you want. All right, so have fun with it. And by the way, oh, I just discovered one other thing. I've been doing this. If you're a coach who works with your clients on these kinds of things, guess what? You can actually share your entire template that you've created with a client. So as an example, I've done some challenges, and I created this recap page, okay, for my challenge. Now I have a client who's doing a challenge. I was able to share my customized template I created with her, so she can go back now and actually just use my template. So very cool. If you you can actually ask your coach to share their templates with you if they're both using LeadPages. Of course, I do this with my private clients. But not every coach will. I don't want to imply that they will, but I just wanted to let you know that you actually have the option now of sharing your templates. All right, very cool what you can do in drag and drop. I'll share with you next time how to make sure that your LeadPages is integrated with your email management system. Take care. Talk soon.